I've had many requests on how to do my walleye pattern crankbait, so that's what I'm going to show you today. We're going to do it on a deep CB lure body. It's about 4¼ inches long with the bill, and with a little fleck in the clear coat, and use these iridescent eyes to make the walleye look more authentic. So I have the blank lure body here, and first thing you need to do is a white base coat. And then you have to heat set that with a dryer. Now the next color is going to be black. I don't recommend using black on a lot of undercoats because it's very hard to cover. But the black I'm going to use will be for the scale pattern later, which you'll see here in a little bit. Black can be a very unforgiving color. I'm leaving just the belly part white. Alright, and now we'll heat set that with the dryer as well. Okay, now for the scale pattern. I bought one of these loofahs at Target and cut it up, and that's what they look like here. And it makes a real nice scale pattern. This one is for exfoliating. There are different kinds, and I like this one because it doesn't stretch as much as the others. So let's go ahead and wrap it gently around the bait. And I have these alligator clips to hold them in. I try to be careful so they don't scratch the belly of the bait either, which could be tricky at times. Okay. Make sure the other side looks good. Make sure it doesn't bind or wrinkle anywhere. It's all flat against the bait. Okay. So the next color we're going to use is gold. And basically what we're going to be doing is layering paints to get the desired effect, which you'll see here. So I'm going to shape this up really good. I'm using Wicked colors. This is just gold, and I like this better than the Createx because it seems to apply in the bait a lot better. Okay, this may take a few coats too to cover that black. Like I said, black is very unforgiving, so we need a few coats. Try not to cover the white. So I'd rather do 2 or 3 thin coats of gold rather than one big heavy coat so it doesn't run and everything looks even. And you'll have to heat set each coat with a dryer. Depending on the brand of paint, you may have to thin out your gold. The gold has a little bit of some fleck in it. It may make it hard to shoot, and that can get clogged up with the brush. Okay, I think we got it. Okay, so we got the gold layer on, and again we're pushing towards that realistic look, and the way we're going to do that now is get some olive green paint over the gold, and you want it kind of thin so the gold still comes through and the olive green and the gold kind of blend together. You can use your own already mixed olive green paint and maybe thin it out with some reducer. I mix mine. I use Comart's Chrome Green, and then a few drops of transparent burnt orange, also Comart. And so I'll put the Chrome Green in the cup of the airbrush and add a few drops at a time of the burnt orange until I get the desired color. Again, it's more like it's an olive green, and I thin it out with some reducer. And it doesn't really take much, but go ahead here and cover the gold. Actually, I'm going to reduce the pressure a little bit, down about 15 psi. Probably in the camera you're not going to be able to see much, but when you're painting you're going to see it pretty well. Okay, let's heat set that. And I'm probably going to do just one more very light color, coat a layer of the olive green. There we go. Okay. Okay, now what we're going to do is take off the scale mask. We can reveal the scales. Oh yeah, that turned out great. Good. Okay, now we have to do the stripes, and staying with that olive green paint that's already in my airbrush, I'm just going to mix a little bit of black in there, darken it up a bit, kind of make it like a drab green, and that is what the stripes are going to be. I'm going to do the drab green with the stripes, and also around the gill and around the eye sockets a little bit. Just make sure this green is somewhat darker than the green we just sprayed, so you are able to see the stripes. So I'm just mixing it up here. Maybe a tad darker. Okay. And for making the stripes, I just use a plain old comb that I got at Target. It's one of these combs here, and I do tape off the edges to prevent any overspray. So what I do is I line it up with the gill, but I'm going to go vertical here. It's just a little easier. So I want the first stripe to start right at the edge of the gill. Gently lay it up against the bait. Doesn't take much paint at all. It's very faint, but you don't want to overdo it either. Heat set that. I think I'm going to go a little darker on the stripes. Now when you put this, if you're going to repaint that, you have to really be careful that you line everything back up again, or else you're going to have issues. There we go. Heat set that again. And we'll flip the bait around so you can see the stripes there. Flip the bait around and we'll do the other side. Again, line it up just at the edge of the gill. Lay it flat. Perfect. Okay, let's heat set that. Now I'm going to get a little more of this drab green now on the back. Darken that out a bit. And because it is thinned out, if you put too much it could run, so I do a couple shots. And then heat set. Every subsequent layer darkens up the bait, which is okay. And we can't forget around the eyes and the gill plate. Okay. I'm going to do a little more around the eyes. There you have it. That's about as far as the painting's going to go. And now we're going to put some eyes on. And then we'll clear coat, and I'll show you all that too. Okay, now we're going to put on the eyes. And just recently I found these iridescent eyes, which mimic a walleye completely. And I love these eyes. And they're very easy to apply. Just take one off. I usually use a X-Acto knife to help guide this. Okay. There's one. to. They're self-stick, but that's not what's going to hold them on. When I do the clear coat, that's going to cover and keep everything intact. Alright, so we got 2 eyes. Now what we're going to do next is clear coat, and that should be pretty much the finishing touches. Now for the clear coat, I use the DevCon 2-ton clear coat, and I put it in a little Dixie cup, which I cut, and I'll mix here in a second. But I like to add some gold fleck, and it really doesn't take a lot. Just put it right in with the clear coat, and then mix it real good. This DevCon clear coat, they say, is good for 30 minutes. I can probably get 2, maybe 3 baits done, and realistically you have about 10 minutes at the most. So we'll just mix this up really good. Mix it up for about 30 seconds. Make sure the A and B side of that epoxy is mixed in. I try to get out as many bubbles as I can. And then I just use one of these disposable kids paintbrushes I got at Walmart. And we'll start coating. Now when you put the clear coat on, all of a sudden these colors will really start to pop that we painted earlier. Get the eyes pretty good. That scale pattern, a little easier to see now as we clear coat, but this fleck, the gold fleck or glitter, really adds a nice decorative and attractive feature onto the bait. You can see the fleck pretty well now on the belly. Having good lighting in your painting booth is really important so you don't miss anything. I just added a second light. I got my lights at Target. They're these LED lights. Last probably forever, and they're really bright. A few long, even strokes. If there's any bubbles in the clear coat and the epoxy, they should break. I haven't had. I used to have problems with bubbles a while ago until I realized longer strokes and it'll break up the bubbles. Get the eyes real good. I think we're just about done here. Okay. I think we got everything. There you have it. There's the walleye crankbait. Again, layering your paints can really bring the realism out on your baits. Remember, layering the transparent olive green over the gold. Some other methods you may try is, do a gold base coat with like a transparent sepia or another brown, and you can really get some great depth in your colors and bring out the realism in your baits by layering some of your paints. Thank you for watching.